Good morning, students. This is Asha, your social science teacher. We started with chapter 1 in Civics, the Indian Constitution. We discussed in brief what exactly Constitution is. It is set of rules and principles according to which a state is governed, and it defines. It defines types of government, powers and functions of different organs of government, and relationship between a state and its people. Then we discuss why does a country needs a constitution. So there are many reasons why a country needs a constitution. For lays out certain it lays constitution lays out certain ideals, objectives, and it's defined the nature of political system and to put limitation of chosen representatives. Then we discuss the preamble, what it is. It lays down the objectives and principles and ideals of the country in brief. Then we discuss the struggle of Nepal, how Nepal struggled for democracy from monarchy. They were in monarchy, then they struggled and got democracy, and again democracy was taken from them and monarchy was established, and then again democracy. We did a case study of Nepal where how the changes in government led to change in constitution also. So they have to rewrite their constitution because previous constitution does not reflects their ideals and principles which they want their country to show. So they have to rewrite their constitution. As we said in game, there is our rules and regulation. If we change the game, rules also change. That's what happened in Nepal, monarchy to democracy. The rules were changed, the government was changed, so they have to write a new constitution. Then we discuss in choosing a leader, which is one of the important aspects of democracy. To choose a leader, how we can choose a leader, and if we do not if our chosen leaders misuse their power, what can happen? It can lead to a gross injustice. And the important function of our democracy or constitution is to save us from misuse of authority, power by authority. We will understand, we did that by a story of a class monitor. We tried to understand how the power given to a wrong person, and if he misuse, how it can result. That we discussed yesterday by a story of Suresh, who was misusing his power. Now today we'll discuss the next aspect, which is save us from domination of majority. How constitution save us? Constitution plays an democracy to ensure that dominant group does not use its power against other less powerful people. And we will understand this by a story of a school students. School students are waiting for their sports period, and as soon as they get a sports period, there is a bit confusion. Boys want to play cricket and girls want to play basketball, and they go to teacher and ask, what should we do? The teacher says, we'll decide what to do by show of hands. And by show of hand, what happens? The result come as cricket. And why does the result come as cricket? Because in class, majority are boys. So the boys decide to play and girls are upset because every time decision is taken by show of hands. And as girls are less in number, they lose the match, and every time they have to play cricket because cricket is chosen. So children, such unhealthy situation can occur in democratic society too, where a majority can continuously enforce decision that excludes minority and go there against. Like in story, boys are in majority and they are enforcing again and again cricket on girls, whereas girls want to play basketball. So such situation can come in society also, right? But the constitution usually contains rules that ensure that minorities are not excluded from anything that is routinely available to majority. So in constitution there are enough provisions which make sure that minorities are not excluded, they are being heard. What they want is listened, right? So that's the reason we have a constitution, precisely to prevent tyranny of domination by majority or on minority. So it is, that's why we need a constitution, to make sure that majority do not dominate the minority. Now, the third significant reason why we need a constitution is to save us from ourselves. This sounds strange, but this is true. There might be a situation we might at times feel strongly about an issue that may go against our larger interest. So in such situation, constitution help us, and we'll try to understand this um, larger interest concept by a story of Shabnam. Shabnam is a school student, and she has a class test next day, and she's studying. And around 8:30 there is a time for her favorite TV program, and she's in dilemma whether to study or to watch her favorite program. So initially she feels that she should go and watch her favorite program, but then she thinks if she watch favorite program she will miss out on her study and will not be able to write her test. She discussed this problem with her parents, that if you all watch TV, even I will feel like watching TV, and I will not be able to study well. And if I do not study, I cannot write tests. So in a larger interest, everyone in a family decide that nobody will watch TV. Nobody is going to watch TV now. So TV is closed, Shabnam studies, and next day when she goes and she writes, and she's very happy, she get full marks because she has written all the answers. Shabnam was able to write all answers because she studied. So watching a television was a smaller interest, whereas studying for next day exam was a larger interest. So initially she was tempted to watch television. So in this way, constitution, and now I'll explain you how constitution help us in our larger interest. So constitution help us to protect us against certain decision that we might take and could have adverse effect on larger principle that country believes in, right? Like the Shabnam, smaller interest was watching TV, but the larger interest was test. She studied and she got marks. So in a common day scenario, it might happen that we watch television and then we see that in democratic countries we have political parties and all political parties are corrupt. So it's better in country we should have dictatorship, right? We might get disturbed and we might request or want a dictatorship, but in a longer run, dictatorship is very harmful for a country, isn't it? So constitution is made in such a way that did not let our whims to take place, right? We can whatever allow our whims to change its basic structure. We cannot change the basic structure of our constitution. It does not allow for easy overthrow of provision that guarantee right of citizen and protect their freedom. So as we discussed in yesterday's chapter, there are some freedom and rights given to an individual. These cannot be easily overthrown, right? So our constitution is made in such a way that we cannot overthrow any provision so easily. So indirectly you can say it is saving us from ourselves. In a smaller interest, we might think this is not right, we should do. We might ask for something which is not good. So our constitution does not allow us. It's not so easy to change its provisions. Okay, children, let's recap what we did today. We discussed two important topics today. We discussed domination of majority, how we can stop, how constitution save us from domination of majority on minority by a story of a school children, and then we discussed the story of Shabnam and tried to understand how its constitution save us from ourselves. And tomorrow's lecture will discuss key elements of our Indian constitution, and some important and interesting facts about Indian constitution will discuss. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.